Okay, let's take a look at exercise 6A-1. So this is part of the appendix to chapter 6. So here we're looking at the FIFO method, whereas chapter 6 itself looked at the weighted average method. So in this question we're given data about one department in a company for a period, and we are asked to complete the equivalent units of production. So I wanted to point out the difference between weighted average and FIFO. So one big difference is beginning inventory. So for FIFO, we take into account the items that were in the beginning work in process. So 400 units. Then you take into account how much work was completed on those units during this period. So it's not 400 units times 75% and 400 times 25%. It's that 75% and the 25% were completed in a prior period. We are finishing the units off this period, so we only have to do the remaining work. So materials is 400 units times 100% minus the percentage that was completed last time, or last period. So it's 25% remaining. And conversion, 25% was completed last time, so 75% needs to get completed this month to finish. So it's 100% minus the percentage that was completed in the prior period. Tells us how much was completed this period. Another small difference is under weighted average. We would look and say units completed and transferred out, 42,500. That's what we would have done under that method. Under this method, it's units started into production during the month less units in process. Because units completed and transferred out takes into account the beginning work in process. So we're breaking it out. So instead of just lumping all this together, units completed and transferred out, we are saying there was 400 at the beginning in beginning work in process. During this period, we started 42,600 units, but there's 500 remaining in work in process at the end of the period. So the amount that was started and completed during the month then was 42,600 minus the 500, and that's 100% complete. And then we have ending inventory of 500 units, and they are 80% complete with respect to materials and 30% complete with respect to conversion. So here the 80% and the 30% were completed this period, this month. So we just multiplied by the 80 and by the 30. So that's where the differences come in. So make sure you're aware of weighted average, what to do. So weighted average would be units completed and transferred out, 100%, and then the ending work in process would be the same. But rather than these two here, we would just have units completed and transferred out, 42,500. But for FIFO, we take into account the work that was completed just during the month.